Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their 4th Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 5-time Super Bowl champs from the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, many had ordained the Kansas City Chiefs to be the best team in the NFL coming into the season, and now here they are, one game away from their first Super Bowl title since Super Bowl IV 50 years ago.
And we'll get to that in just a minute, but how about this? This is their 5th straight playoff appearance. They went to overtime with New England in the AFC title game last year. Remember, they were down big at the half, came all the way back and had a chance to win, lost in overtime. Finally climbed that mountain and got back. And do you remember Super Bowl IV against Minnesota? Remember Hank Stram as their coach? On the sidelines, mic'd up for the first time. That really gave us a lot of what we have now with NFL films. What a terrific performance by that Kansas City team, and they blew away the Vikings in that game.
Meanwhile, the 49ers are back in the Super Bowl for the 7th time in franchise history, one of the more successful teams in the Super Bowl era, as they look to claim their 6th title, which would tie them with the Patriots and Steelers for most ever.
I like how you stated that they're one of the more successful franchises in Super Bowl history, because at one point, they were 5-0 in Super Bowls. Joe Montana with wins in Super Bowl 16, 19, 23, and 24. And Steve Young, remember that one? Get the monkey off my back, as he won big in Super Bowl 29. But they lost their last time out against the Ravens in Super Bowl 47. They're looking for a little bit of that. Can we get right again, guys? And I think the San Francisco 49ers team is going to play awfully well in this game.
And they're hoping that the lights stay on in the stadium the entire game this go-around. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Patrick Mahomes leading out the Chiefs. They, of course, were so close to a trip to Atlanta a year ago. Losers in overtime of the AFC title game. They made it a point that they were going to get back this year. And Mahomes, the 2018 MVP, he has followed through, getting KC to the Super Bowl in his 3rd NFL season. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And some room to work. 20. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers into this Super Bowl. It was October of 2017 that the 49ers traded for Jimmy G. In February of 2018, they made him the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL, and now here he is, just 2 short years later, trying to join Joe Montana and Steve Young as 49er quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl title. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
How much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the 1st quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
San Francisco coming back out here on offense. See, this is a team that has, in the midst of their first playoff appearance since 2013, biggest jump of any squad because just 4 wins last year, 13 this year, and that win in Seattle, Week 17, so huge. A tackle by Dre Greenlaw and Jacob Hollister on the half-yard line to preserve the victory. You'd think about the magnitude of that play. What a difference it would be between 3 road games if they would have been the number 5 seed versus 2 potential home games as the number 1 seed.
If they find a way to win the Super Bowl, that tackle will be remembered. It's already there with Dan Bunz's hit in the Super Bowl.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. but that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Okay, CD, let's talk about KC as their offense comes back out here. 12-4 finish as they head into this divisional round. 4 straight AFC West title. They're searching for something that they haven't had in a half-century, and everybody knows what that is. That's a Super Bowl berth. Now, we thought their season might be in trouble when Mahomes went down with that kneecap injury. That was in mid-October. But he and the Chiefs, they haven't lost in the last 6 games. A strong finish, and they're looking as good as they have in a long time.
And they have to give some credit to Matt Moore as the backup quarterback for keeping things afloat while Mahomes was out. Because remember, they beat Minnesota in a home game that was a difficult one for them. And they also had a tough one with Green Bay that they almost pulled out at home as well. So give him a lot of credit. But Mahomes has his magic back. Seems to be fully healed from the ankle, from the knee. He is playing well, but the defense, that's what's morphed and made them different. The last half of the year, they got better against the run, in no small part because Chris Jones, their all-pro defensive tackle, got back in the lineup and really solidified things, along with Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, playing near the line of scrimmage as a defensive back. Kansas City is going to be very dangerous in the playoffs as the number 2 seed.
Mahomes completes that one to Watkins. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Mahomes now to throw. This is caught. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now Mahomes. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. Not that time for Watkins. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
On first down, Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Garoppolo looks to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Going underneath, it's Coleman. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 27-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Here we go.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Damian Williams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Coleman. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up, so the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A gain of 3, second down. They will run again to Coleman. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw is Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half, and they came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question, what was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big game.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Looking to throw is Mahomes, and he rifles one incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. Third down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, they frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference. And they crossed it on that play.
And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown.
Great job, man.
A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Frank Clark able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pick up there of 20 yards. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Bell. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And this is incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tano Passanio able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Chris Jones in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And taken right at the 35. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to play, as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 10 on a 49er first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. There's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. The quick slant caught. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's it, baby. Here we go.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.